Hi, this is a tutorial for AutoDesk Inventor 2012, and I'm going to teach you how to make a Turner's cube, which is a cube within a cube within a cube. You can check out my other Instructable, a Turner's cube, a beginner CNC project, metal milling project, to see what this actually looks like in real life. Now I'm actually going to teach you how to design the actual file so that you can make it yourself. This is a beginner tutorial to Autodesk Inventor Professional 2012. I'm going to show you some basics as well as how to create the cube. So the first thing we're going to do is to start off with our new file. I'm going to click the standard.ipt and we have a new part. We're going to click the rectangle and we're going to create our first face, a nice little square here. Okay. Now from here what we're going to do is dimension our square. Click the two sides. There we go. Now we have our two dimensions. The next thing I'm going to do is I need to do a little bit of constraining to actually lock it into space. We're going to take our symmetric constraint here and use that for a second. But first we need to take our X and Y planes and project geometry. So click on X-axis under the origin file there, project, and the Y-axis, project. Now we have something to actually project against. Hit escape. Then I'm going to click my symmetric file. So I'm going to click the two sides and then the axis. It actually was already symmetric, as you can see. I'm going to click the top and bottom. This says it's going to over constrain. Usually what this happens is then we have a whole bunch of constraints that are interfering. This is sometimes annoying. So I'm going to show you how to get out of that. You just click this little box that says show constraints right here and select our whole box. Here we have all of these little things that say, oh, what are all this stuff? Well, these are our symmetric constraint, these are our parallel constraint, this is our parallel constraint, and this is our horizontal constraint. Well, it's already horizontal, and these are already parallel, so I really don't need that one, so I'm going to delete that. This is also a perpendicular constraint. Well, everything is already parallel, so if those two are parallel and those two parallel, we're fine. Let's get rid of that too. And so now we actually have our green thing here. Let's see if we can get our constraint again. So this time we're going to do again the here, here, and here. And now you can see the whole thing is blue. That's your end goal. Honestly, I find that I play around a lot just trying to get the lines blue. When in doubt, if you really just can't figure out how to constrain your whole sketch, come up here and click this little button and it auto constrains the whole thing. It makes a lot of dimensions that are really annoying and kind of painful to deal with later, but if you just can't get your sketch constrained, that's an easy way to do that. So you can hit F9 to get rid of all of the visible constraints. I'm working in Parallels Desktop and I still haven't figured out how to unview them, so we're just going to deal with them for a second. But first thing I'm going to do is take our dimensions. We're going to change these dimensions. So this dimension is going to go to our final cube dimension, which is 1.875. There we go. And then I double click this one, 1.875. And now I have a perfect cube. Yay! Okay, next thing we're going to do is just put our circle in it. I'm going to take the circle from the center point and pull it out to a nice little square. Notice here there's some nice, it'll tell you exactly what size. Also, if I just don't click and I start typing, I can do 1.5 and there we go. Now I have my circle, which is 1.5, and you can see it's already constrained because I started in the center and it naturally is going to be, because I said 1.5 at the diameter, it's going to that. So there's my first cube. It's a fairly simple beginning square. So now from here, I'm going to also create another square or another circle. And this circle, I'm going to make. Notice here, if I make them somewhat right around here, they're going to be a little bit. These cubes are going to be a little bit easier to deal with. So I'm actually creating the size of my cube here in line with by making these circles. So I'm trying to choose big round numbers. The 1.875 is just a reduced from 2. The first circle at 1.5, and this one let's make it 0.667. There we go. And you can see again it is constrained. The last thing I'm going to do is to create I'm going to create a small one And this one is going to, I'm just going to make it the width of a 1/4 inch drill bit, so 0.25. So now we have our 3 circles all the way through, and that's the lines of where I'm actually creating. Now that I have these circles, I'm going to do some extruding, which is kind of fun. So we're going to finish our sketch, and the first thing I'm going to do is just click the extrude button, and now I want to start my profile. I want the big profile to start with and make it a big solid. So my profile, I'm actually going to click at this point. I don't care about the center one because that's going to go all the way through, but for now, let's go ahead and make our entire cube right now. I want my cube to be, the distance to be 1.875, as you can see, and you can change it so that it goes on either side of which face you'd like, so that it goes into the z-axis in any way that you want. I like it to go -z because that's actually the way I'm going to be cutting it anyway. You can see that the y-axis is this way, the x-axis is this way, and z-axis that way. I'm going -z, and it's going to end up being positive y and x. And the reason I'm doing that is because, in fact, that's going to be the point of origin I cut on the CNC mill. So it's nice that I just kind of do it in the same brain. But you can do it however you want. I mean, you can actually make it in the middle. You can do like this. You can create offset so that it's one side or the other. But this is the way I'm gonna start. So there's my first one. I'm going to click OK. There's my first cube face. That's pretty nice. At this point, I can create all my other faces from here. So the next step, of course, is that I actually want to cut in and do some of the other stuff still right on this face. So I'm already here. Let's go ahead. We have to go back to sketch mode. So I'm going to right click on this and click New Sketch if I want. Or actually, what I prefer to do is to just left click on this face, and then I'm going to edit the sketch again. Notice here we've got a nice circle. I'm not sure where all of our other circles went, but we can recreate them again. I'm just going to work on this face. I have to do this for every single face anyway. There's still a lot of quirks in Autodesk that I'm not sure how to efficiently work. There are a million different ways to do it. I'm sure I'm not doing it the most efficient way, but you can, if you follow this along, you should be able to figure it out yourself. There are some quirks, though. They definitely hold me up a little bit. But so now we've got our circle again. I want to make this 1.5. There, I've got my sketch. You can see it's already constrained because I used the center point, and it already did it. Then I'm going to finish my sketch and extrude again. This time I'm not going to cut in, or I'm not going to extrude out. I actually want to cut in, and the profile is right here. So you can see right here I'm cutting in. It says the distance, if I were cutting all the way through, would be 1.875. I don't want to cut in that much. So let's try just cutting in 0.5 inches. Does that look like, we can actually change this all later, but you can see this is the beginning of my first cube, and you can see my first cube will then end up being about a square like that. That almost seems a little bit too much, so let's try 0.333, just 1/3 of an inch. That seems good. I like that. We can always change this later. In fact, this is part of the way you're going to, when you mill the project, you're going to see if this works or not very quickly by using 2 different sides. So let's go ahead and say OK, and you can see now that it is cut in one side. So now I want to do the same thing on this side. I'm going to click with that sketch. All I did was left click the face, then click the sketch, and we're going to start. Now here, unfortunately, we don't have a center circle, so this is going to cause us a little bit of problem. But if you see here, I move my mouse, it's got these little lines. It'll show me exactly where the center is. It'll kind of lock into place. If I click there and then make it 1.5, you can see we have our green circle within space. If I want to make this fixed, I can just click this fixed point right there, and that makes it constrained. I make that point. We know that that's in the center because those little lines told us this, so I can't tell you any more why that works better than it does, but either way, we have our line is blue. It works good. Okay, and so now Again, I'm going to finish my sketch. I'm going to extrude. I'm going to cut in 0.33, choose my profile. If you get lost, you don't know which profile, you click on this one and then click on the profile, and you can see right here, that's that. Notice it creates a nice, good square. It looks like it's a good distance right there. So 0.333 seems like it's worked. That means that the square will actually lock out here and only the corner will be attached. We won't know until we do a third face, so let's go ahead and do that now. So click OK. I'm going to move my thing. And by the way, the way I'm moving this around is I'm using my click wheel. Click in and out will give you the how to view zoom, and then you can actually grab the square if you want and move it around, or what I find is if you hit shift and then push the click wheel down as a button, you can actually just move things kind of in a free space form. That works easier. So again, I'm going to click this face, click my edit, sketch. I'm going to make a circle, let those little lines, see, find them, there they are. Start, type in 1.5, there's my circle again. I'm going to fix the 1 point in the center, that constrains it. Finish my sketch, extrude, again, cut in, click my face, and you can see, there we go, we have now a cube within a cube, and you can see the corner is connected. You can make that even a smaller connection of a corner if you'd like, but for my first one I like to leave myself a little room because my machining tolerances are not perfect yet. So now we have our cube within a cube within a cube. We're going to go through this again. I think you get the idea of how to make all the holes and how to make it, so you're welcome to turn off the video at this point, but I'm going to go ahead and continue showing you how to wrap it all up and actually save it, so you can actually fast forward if you'd like just to see the save, but we're going to go through and do each part. So and I'll blather on a little bit about what I'm doing here as we do it. So again, I'm going to take each face, click, I'm going to go through fast here because I went through slow through the rest of them. Make my circle 1.5. There's my circle, constrain the centerpiece, and finish, extrude, clicking on the cut, face, and we're good. I'm going to do this with the same thing I just did, and you're going to notice that this is the issue with this is that you have a lot of faces to do this on. So there are 6 faces to do it. You're going to do it over and over and over, and your milling experience is going to be somewhat similar. Take your time with each one because it really does matter that you get everything nice and straight. But this is a good project because you're going to have to find the Z origin for each face as you reset it in the mill. Learning how to create a perfect cube is such a powerful thing. So, see there, now I'm extruding it. Now I want to cut it. So there's my face. It's the right distance. It remembered. Click. No, you notice my square within a square or cube within a cube is getting pretty nice. So again, edit the sketch, make our last face. I think it's our last face. From the centerpiece, 1.5. This one already had a centerpiece, so it's good. It's already constrained. We're going to finish our sketch, extrude, cut in, click my profile. Okay. So are we all set? Yeah, so now we have our first cube within a cube. That's terrific. Okay, now we need to do it again. So again, six faces. We're going to create a cube. This one we have a centerpiece, which is nice. We're going to do this one, remember, 0.667. There we go. That's our square that's going to start. Again, same thing as we did before. Finish sketch, extrude, click my face, cut in, and there we go. This one I did 0.333. I actually may want to edit that, and that's a good point because I don't think that's going to end up being a little bit too deep. So let's do about half of that. And actually what I'm going to do is this time, if I click that circle, notice right there, if I left click the circle, it gives me a chance to actually click. See, I can edit the extrude right there. Actually don't want that to be 0.3. Let's do that half of 0.333, which, or actually let's make it let's see where we're at. Let's try and make this see if I do 0.25.